Merp. Hey guys, it's Glimmer. Welcome to my channel. I am going to be posting more content here over the next year, talking about my creative process, the stories behind some of my songs, sharing what it's like to be a neurodivergent artist who deals with a mood disorder, and how I compromise with myself while I try to continue to make things and start to challenge myself to share them with people. So this is the first vlog I've done in living memory, so it's going to be a little messy, and I am trying to celebrate the process, and I hope it will inspire you to go out and make things even if they don't meet your perfectionistic standards. So I am going to be sharing with you all the things I learned from releasing my last single, which is called Fragile Flame, and which is available in the link below. Future Glimmer will pop a link below. And I learned a lot from this, and a lot of it was to do with navigating perfectionism while working on something important to me. So I hope something in this video resonates with you and serves to cheer you on in your own creative endeavors. And I look forward to sharing more with you as the year goes on. So, things I learned from releasing my last single. Producing, recording, and releasing. First I have to find the page. Okay. So, first thing, have a clear but flexible goal. My goal was very clear. I wanted to record a full-on album and release it by December 21st. That did not happen. I did end up recording a few of the different songs, but I knew I wasn't going to finish by the solstice, so I realized I had to be flexible. There were several different ways I could have been flexible. I could have moved the deadline. I could have just decided to put out really rough demos of all of the songs, so compromised the production, but I decided the way I wanted to be flexible was to just release a single instead of the album. And then I was really able to delve into that and enjoy that more. So normally in the past I would have said, okay, it's all or nothing, and that would have left me with nothing. So being flexible was very helpful. Next thing, take baby steps when it feels like you just can't. As a neurodivergent person who deals with chronic depression with major recurrent episodes, I often find myself without the zest for life I had hoped for, and the days that are good are so precious to me. And on the days when I'm inspired and I'm planning the project, I'm so excited. And this is just human, you know, whether or not you have a mental illness, you get down to it, and it's 99% of the time more steps than you realized. And on days when it feels like a mountain to climb to even get out of bed, it can be very helpful to break things down into the smallest steps possible. So for me, a huge hurdle was just finding all my equipment and setting it up. It was so overwhelming to think about. And so it was just, okay, find your audio interface. Find the cords that go with it. Assess which cords you need. Set up your vocal booth. Find the pieces of your vocal booth. And breaking it down into those steps and allowing myself to take breaks enabled me to actually get started instead of kind of sitting in this frozen state, which has happened to me many times on the verge of doing something creative that I want to do. And then that went for recording too. If I got stuck with something I didn't know how to do, I would take a break, I would look up the video and maybe take another break or be ready to go back and implement what I learned. And that goes for the production side of things too. Okay, next thing. Define success as many ways as you can. This is also an exercise in the kind of humility that is actually very self-compassionate, and that really has helped me work in spite of the perfectionistic tyrant that exists in my brain. So success was, again, in all of those baby steps, and it was also in hitting a wall sometimes and seeing that, hey, that's a success because it's allowing me to figure out something I didn't know I needed to know. And now I have that information. and it's a success in itself to figure out what you don't know. And then even with the release, right? I released the single. I was able to practice my performance, my arranging, my production, mixing. There were a lot of things that I got to practice and learn and enjoy the process of that. Okay, next. Choose your why wisely and make it matter no matter what. So this is crucial for me because I have undertaken very large projects and not finished them because I decided to do it for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to prove my worth in some way. I wanted to be better, whatever that means, in the hopes of it, taking off and me getting more listeners, all that kind of stuff. In this case, my why was that even just one person that I can help feel less alone by putting my music out there is an incredibly powerful why for me. And that's something that continues to motivate me. And it's helpful because, very often I get in this headspace where I think, oh, this is so self-indulgent, especially with this album and this single. It's about grief. And, my brain will tell me, you're going to bring people down. This is self-indulgent. This is just creative self-obsession, blah, 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 blah. And having that other kind of why reminds me that, hey, you know what? Some people might think it's self-indulgent. Some people might think it's overly depressing. I may think that on any given day, but I bet there's at least one person out there who this song will resonate with. And if they can cry to the song, or it just helps them feel like they're not the only one feeling this feeling. I know firsthand that many songs have helped me for that exact reason, especially when I'm going through a deeply grieving time. Grief can make you feel so alone and so hopeless, and listening to songs that kind of talked about a similar feeling to what I was feeling really were a lifeline. That's been a why that I can follow through on, even on days when I just feel like my creativity has absolutely no worth. Next thing, this goes in with the choosing your why wisely. Vision over vanity. And again, the theme here is combating perfectionism. So my vision for this piece was I wanted to write an emotionally honest, raw, vulnerable piece of music. And because the song was already that way, but I wanted to produce it in a way, perform it in a way, and create everything around it in a way that was really, really raw and wasn't polished. And, part of that was practical because I was self-producing and had a limited time frame, but also it really felt like that was what the song needed, and that was how the song was really going to be most itself. So that was very helpful to me in getting out of my own way in terms of how many takes I did. I decided not to pitch correct, not to go too overboard with the production. There were many things I still need to learn that I didn't do in my production of this song. And I felt, if not good about it, then sure enough about it, because I remembered that my goal wasn't to make a super polished song. It was to make something raw and real, and I think I did that. And that combats vanity. Even with the cover art, I took the photo for the cover art the evening I was going to release it. And I didn't put on makeup, and it's just a selfie, and that almost stopped me. That was a real point where I almost just didn't release the single at all because I felt so self-conscious of how vulnerable I thought I looked and how obvious my flaws were, And the vision really helped me there, helped me combat my vanity, because again, I realized, hey, the point of this is not for me to show how gorgeous I am, whatever, hide my age or any of that bullshit. It's for me to show the spirit of the song. And again, I think I did that. Vision over vanity, something I'll be carrying into all of my future endeavors with creative work. Celebrate the new questions. They are powerful. Having new questions that you didn't know you had before is a sign of growth. That goes back to defining success as many ways as you can. I have so many more things I realize I have to learn in Logic. I knew I was a noob, but I didn't know in what ways. I didn't know what things specifically I would need to learn to produce a song. And now I know some more questions that I need to get answered and things I need to practice and or want to. That is a gift that I got from this process. Next, finish but leave the door open for new development, aka you're never really finished, just done for now. I could have kept working on this and tweaking it and driving myself crazy for months and months more, but again, that was not the point of the song. And even with songs that I want to polish more, I'm going to have to remember this, because there's always more you could do, and there's also a point where you have to allow yourself to just put it out there. And one way I've been able to get myself to do that is by reminding myself I can always come back and redo this. I can re-record this. If I really want to do it in a studio with a professional engineer, a professional masterer, and everything like that, I can. But for now, this is what I have to offer, right? Continue to celebrate as many ways as you can. That one's kind of self-explanatory. I have a history of putting a single out and then being like, okay, bye. Maybe listen, maybe not, right? And this was no exception, really. I did do a first for myself, which was to make a YouTube post about it when I released it. Not a video, but a post. Next time, maybe I'll do a video. But this video is a way of me celebrating, right? Getting to talk about what I've learned and allowing the single to give me another way to be creative, learn another thing, which is how to vlog. This is a way of celebrating. Posting about it more will be a way of celebrating. Maybe posting a video talking about the song itself and just giving myself a little, hey, good job. You did it. Last but not least, well, I think this one is, we've gone over it, but use what you've learned on something new. So I'm going to take everything I've learned from this and I'll be able to apply it to other singles I produce, to the rest of this album, which I still really do want to work on and really want to put out. I can take all these lessons and they will inform future creative endeavors that I undertake, and that in itself is another gift that this project has given me. Just a lot of new possibilities that I can take these things I learned and apply. That was kind of a sentence, but so those are the things I've learned from releasing my last single. It's been a labor of love and not a little angst, but all of it completely worth it. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, you know what to do. I will be posting more videos this year. That's another goal of mine for the year. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found something in this that inspired you in your future creative endeavors and at least made you feel less alone. So just remember, it's okay to do it messy. Actually, that's the only way, really. Creativity is inherently a little messy, and it's a beautiful thing. So happy making stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.